Censorship and children's literature. First, it's important to define censorship. Censorship is the act of some authority taking measures to suppress ideas and information within a book. Censorship is the regulation of free speech and other forms of entrenched authority. So, why are these books on the censorship list? Content of these books may be on the censorship list due to content including profane language, violence, sex, witchcraft, offending religions, racial issues, and political influence. Some banned books that are on the censorship list are the Captain Underpants collection. These books in this collection have been banned um, because they have been perceived as encouraging disrupting behavior, as it is a child in his underpants saving the world. And it also includes same sex couples within the story. 13 Reasons Why is another book that has been banned. It's a story about bullying and teen suicide. This book was banned, challenged, and restricted for addressing teen suicide and rape. This next book, This One Summer, was banned and challenged for profanity, sexual references, and some explicit illustrations. Another story, A Day in the Life of Marlon Bundo, which is a story of two male bunnies raising a bunny together. Unfortunately, this book was also banned for including same-sex couple in the story. And another book, This Day in June, a wonderful story of how to talk to children about sexual orientation, and also a story that shares information of how Pride came about. This book was challenged for LGBTQ content. So, with book banning, there are both pros and cons to this. Some pros to book banning would be that parents have the right to know what their children are reading at school. Another pro would be that censorship can reduce the impact of hate speech. And another impact, authors' rights are still protected. So even with the banning, the author still has all rights protected with their book, and they can still write the same stories and books just like it. Some cons to book banning would be preventing others to read the book. One parent might find a book inappropriate, while another parent might find the book a great learning experience. Another con would be it prevents exposure to real life matters. A lot of those books that are banned have a lot to do with things that actually happen. Young adults go through these real life matters. So, with that being said, if these books are banned, children are not able to relate to a lot of the books being exposed in their library. My own teaching philosophy in my classroom is that I plan to keep two factors in mind when it comes to adding books to my own class library. The first factor is I will create a safe place in my classroom for my students. And the second factor is I want to have an open communication with my parents. With that being said, these two stories are two books that I might have in my classroom. The first book, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, um, is a book of friendship and courage to fight for the good. If someone were to ask me why I would have Harry Potter in my classroom, I think I would respond by simply saying to them that Harry Potter uses his magic for good. That in this story, witchcraft is not devil worshipping. That the magic used in the story is for protection. It's for his friends, for him saving his school, and it's all for the matter of good. The other book that I might have on my library is Antago Makes Three. This story is about two male penguins who raise a baby penguin together. If someone were to ask why I would have this book in my library, even though it is on the censorship list, I would respond by simply saying that this book exposes diversity, that this story may make a connection for a student and may be relatable to a student. Reading this story can teach people about others. It can help promote respect and empathy for all types of people. Lastly, I'm going to go over my strategy as an educator to protect these books in my classroom. First, I can ask parents to contribute to developing school reading programs. I can ask for their input. I can gather information from the families that are in my class to see what books I can add to my library, what would be suitable for my class. Next, I can give recommendations to my students rather than having a required reading list. I can give out my recommendations. And even if those books are on the censorship list, I can mention that to my students, but then have them make the decision to explore. And lastly, I can have files of professional reviews of these books. I can have information about these authors, and I can have a lot of background information to give to my students and their parents as well. And that is it on censorship and children literature. Thank you.